WhatsApp sent by Tinubu's group. No, read it out. I want you to read that. Everybody can.
Forward glass led.
No.
Okay.
Just read out what it says.
Yoruba, shine your eyes on. If you vote for Peter, is automatically voting for Seaport in South and Southeast. Then Igbos will stop coming to Lagos State to invest, rather they will go to Delta and River State. They may even stop building houses in Lagos. It will affect a lot of Yorubas. Yoruba Renu.
Okay, I said good morning to everyone listening to me from this part of the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending your time zone, I greet you. In the name of Most High Chukwu Okike Abiama, I greet you and I welcome you to this midnight program from my location. I'm Rabbi Charles hosting you this middle of the night. I just want to speak to you. Anytime you wake up in the morning and you browse through and see this, please stop by and pay attention to what I'm about to tell us here. Most of the time we will be facing danger, but we don't know danger that we are facing. What I played just now was something that Mr. Peter Obi scrolled and saw, where Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was telling the Yorubas in Yoruba to shine their eyes and warning them not to let Peter Obi, not to let anybody vote for Peter Obi, that when he gets into power, that means he will create, he will look into the infrastructures, and maybe we establish seaport and other things that will make Igbos shift their location. And that is exactly what the man was telling them. That means they know what they are doing. I am still on the Akere fire incident. Ladipo fire incident happened, and Akere fire incident just happened on the 8th of March 2023, and more will still happen. Alaba International Market, be prepared. If you don't know now. Be prepared. Even I don't know about Idumota, it's mixed up with Yoruba and the Igbo and other people. The Sumu area, all those areas where you are selling something, where you are dealing with your things, Mandelas, I tell you, just be careful, pay attention, deploy security people there, men and women, to secure your place while you're at home. The people we are dealing with are bandits, criminals. If this thing can keep me awake at the middle of the night and give me restlessness, that means it is very serious. This man was telling them, your so-called president, tomorrow you will be calling him, addressing him, your president. I mean, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a bandit, a criminal, somebody who has criminal record, a baron. That is what Nigerian people, the INEC, is attempting to put in position to be the president of Nigeria. What a shame, what an embarrassment. And some government officials from foreign countries went quickly to congratulate him. These are cabals. It doesn't matter where they're sending the congratulations from. Doesn't matter. It could be any kingdom, whichever state. It doesn't matter. They will never give somebody who is normal in Africa the authorization to preside over that country in Africa as the president or prime minister. They have problem with that, because if you give it to somebody who is reasonable, they will not get away with their stealing and their looting the resources of your country, stealing the resources of your country, of your continent. They will not be happy to see that happen. I have a lot of references that I can give. I know when they ignited the war, the Biafran with Nigeria, which we know that it was Third World War, because Nigeria did not defeat Biafra, not at all. It was combined forces that did the job, and they are paying the price of that entity today, and they will pay more. I'm not going to tell them how they will pay for it, but they are paying the price today. The blood of those innocent children they massacred. I remember when Femi Fani-Kayode was normal, he was reading out what they did to Biafrans. He was reading it out and was saying it all with his mouth, all by himself, what they did to Biafrans, that they owe Biafrans apology. Femi Fani-Kayode was saying it, that they owe Biafrans apology, they must apologize for what they did to Biafrans. That time he was in his right mind, and he was saying it, and hell didn't break loose. So sometimes I wonder, I said, what kind of people are these? You say this today, tomorrow you say another thing. Okay? I would love to play this thing, because sometimes I wonder what is really going on. Before I commence, I would like to play this.
Do you want me to be honest or just speak, political correctness?
Yeah, you have to be honest.
I choose to be honest with you. I choose to be honest with you. And for me to be honest with you, I have to go back a little bit. But let me start with the situation that we're facing in this country today. If you believe that those that are in power in Nigeria today would ever contemplate the possibility of giving power to an Igbo man in 2023 or thereafter, then you still haven't fully understood the challenge and the problem that we have in this country today. You need to understand that the mindset of some of these people, not all, some, but those that Buhari represents, that is his own clique within the Fulani ruling class, not all Fulanis, but his own clique, who are in power today. Their mindset is that the most dangerous people in this country and the people that they must suppress more than any other are the people of the Southeast.
You hear that?
And you need to understand that before the Civil War, and I need to go back in history because that's a damn good question and it deserves a clear answer, a thorough answer. Let's go back a little bit. Before the Civil War, these same people, he, for example, was active then. And you need to remember the role that they played on the night of July 29th, 1966, when the Northern Officers counter-coup took place. And 300 Igbo officers were killed in one night.
300 Igbo officers.
Igbo head of state.
Okay.
He was involved.
Buhari was
and
involved.
Many of them that are running this country in that cabal today were involved.
Cabals.
Or he supported it. They said it was to pay back for what had happened in January 15th, 1966. Now, after that, what happened? The same people unleashed their people on Igbo civilians in the northern part of this country. And the figure that is often cited is 30,000 were killed. It's not true. Closer to 100,000. Not only were they killed, people, women had their stomachs cut open and little babies were pulled out and their heads were dashed against the wall. That is what they did then in 1966, before the Civil War. And the Igbos were slaughtered like flies all over the north.
You hear that?
Same people. They went rushing back to the east, where they believed they were safe. And the position was this. The leader of the core northern Muslims within the army, Murtala Muhammad, urged Gawan, who was head of state, to march on the east immediately and wipe out the Igbos.
Wipe out the Igbos. You hear that?
To do that and said, no, let's negotiate. And the negotiation started. They broke down, then there was a civil war. In that civil war, 3 million Igbos were killed by federal forces.
He said 3 million, but it was 10 million. 10 million Biafrans were killed.
I take responsibility for that, as every other Nigerian ought to. Civilians, not soldiers. 3 million, including 1 million children. Subjected to genocide, subjected to mass murder, subjected to ethnic cleansing by us. The war ended. We did not apologize. Instead, what did we do? What did we do? We took all their property in the name of abandoned property.
You hear that?
We gave them £20, even if they had $1 million in the bank. And we said, come back, no victor, no vanquish. Biggest lie from the pit of hell. There was a victor and there was a vanquish.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know who was who. They came back into Nigeria and we reintegrated them. But even with all the reintegration, no Igbo man could be trusted to be General Officer Commanding GOC until Obasanjo came to power in 1999. Igbos were not allowed to rise up within the military or in any power configuration in the country. It was something that was understood that you never put an Igbo man in a position of real power. You can give him appointments, but you don't put him in a position of real power.
You hear that?
Okay. Obasanjo came, made General Abiaku, I think his name was, GOC. And then from there, Jonathan came, he appointed an Igbo chief of army staff. Okay? Yes. My wife is reminding me of the name, Ehejireka.
Ehejireka.
You know, he appointed an Igbo chief of army staff. Okay? And we thought things would go on that way. There would be a reintegration of the Igbos. And Obasanjo integrated many Igbos, people like Obi and Uba, so many came in and playing key.
Let me stop this thing here and kind of do brief analysis from what this man is saying here in this clip. He said it a few years ago when he was still married to Igbo lady, our beautiful sister. That time, Femi Fani-Kayode's mind and or head was correct. It was very, very okay. When he was trying to, mention some certain names, I realized that the wife was by his side because he just referenced her that, oh, my wife is here, and the wife helped him to correct, put him into order by giving him the right name of the person and the details that he was looking for. Now, I want to say this. He said that more than 100,000 Igbo civilians were massacred in the north. If Nigeria could tell you that it is 100,000, it was 300,000, above 300,000. And during that war, they said that it was 1 million children were killed. No, it was 3.5 million children. If you add adult to it amounted to 10 million people. 10 million Biafrans were massacred. Nigeria is a liar. Nigeria and those that are running the affairs of Nigeria are pathological liars. They are liars. They don't say the truth. Nigeria was founded in error, in lies, deception, and they kept on doing it till today. So what are we talking about? Do you see why agitation came up? Nigeria never could believe or have not admitted that they committed genocide towards Biafrans. What happened was genocide, and no one is talking about it. The only man that spoke out and was talking about it happens to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They contributed money that could have used to do one project or multiple projects in Nigeria. Construct the road, give them good road network, infrastructures, hospitals, and so many other things. They will never use it. They didn't use that money for that. They rather hired kidnappers, international kidnappers, to go and locate him where he was in Kenya and brought him back to Nigeria, and they were jubilating. And they kept him in DSS dungeon. Nigeria is cursed. For those of you who doesn't know, thinking that I have issue with Nigeria, I don't have issue with Nigeria. I only have issue with when you kill my people and you think I will celebrate you, I will be happy with you. The problem with some of our people is that they forget so quickly. They don't teach you history. You don't know your history. And I don't know, I'm not going to blame religion as part of what happened to our people. It's just that they found themselves in a certain condition, and once they come up on television and tell you no victor, no vanquish, you believe them. And our people threw all their things away and believe them. They are going to get integrated to Nigeria. But in that Nigeria, hear this man saying that they made that decision that no Igbo will amount to anything, will rise up to any level, higher position in any sphere in Nigerian government. No Igbo man, until when Obasanjo came and appointed Ihejirika and so many others. You understand? So this is Nigeria for you, and the Fulanis are not happy about that. They are not happy. So when we are telling our people what is really going on, and most people don't understand it. I don't know what is wrong with our people, whether it's because of lack of education or because of hardship or whatever. You cannot go against your history. You cannot forget your history. The moment you forget your history, you will allow somebody to massacre you again. This is your history. This is what happened to you. The man speaking happens to be a Yoruba man. He's still alive. Unfortunately, the people he spoke about, condemned, he went and joined them because I was informed that he was being he was threatened by the organization that goes for fraud or whatever, EFCC, and he went and he abandoned everything and joined APC. That once you join APC, the crime commission, EFCC, will not go for you. So this is what happened to this man. So they actually painted his future for him, saying to him, you will go to jail, you will rot in jail, you will die there. Do you want to go to jail or do you want to join APC? He said, don't send me to jail, I want to join APC. And that is, he joined them and began to speak from another side of the mouth. It is rather unfortunate that Nigerian politicians are so evil and so corrupt. You see the reason why agitation is taking place. People are agitating. The other one was a clip played by Peter Obi was showing somebody what Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent to people, to Yoruba people. I am so glad today that not every Yoruba indigene is believing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They call him Ole. Anytime he appears in the public, they scream, Ole, Ole, Ole. Ole means thief, thief, thief. Because that man has criminal record. Stealing is legalized within him. Thuggery is legalized. All these marketplaces that is being set ablaze is Tinubu that is masterminding it. He's the brain behind this, behind all this destruction of Igbo people's properties in Lagos State. This is what Bola Tinubu is masterminding with his cohorts. His cohorts are doing all these things. And he can pay any amount to get Igbos injured. And also with Femi Fani-Kayode today, doing all these things. Remember, he once married our beloved sister, and eventually the marriage went down the drain, and he developed hatred towards her and towards the Igbos. That's why he told Femi Fani-Kayode, said, accused Mr. Peter Obi that voting for Peter Obi, that their logo looks like IPOB. Can you imagine that? If their logo looks like IPOB, and so what? Is IPOB a evil organization? No. There might be some idiots out there using the name of IPOB to do petty things to feed themselves. But the original, the founder of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is not an evil man. He's a good man. And he's an honest man. It is because of him that I'm awake all through the night and day. I don't sleep. Once you mention Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, everything that is, even if I'm tired, I will wake up. Because this is what I found in him. Honesty and truth is what I found in him. Now, for those of us, some of our people who doesn't understand what is going on, the man said, if you vote for Peter Obi, if he gets there, he will build seaports in Southeast and South. I don't believe in Southeast, East Central State. We have seas around us. Calabar, Calabar was the former capital of Nigeria, and there is no standard seaport there. Calabar, we have seaport. River State, Port Harcourt, we have seaport. Onitsha, we have seaport. Warri, we have seaport. Why can't they have seaport? What about international airport that will connect direct flight from Southeast to any part of the world? Why can't Southeast have international airport? It is not a crime. So if they want to maintain the old system, then the only thing I can tell them is to dissolve Nigeria. Let those groups go their separate ways. You can't marginalize somebody and expect that person to be law-abiding. You can't do that. It has never happened, and it will never happen. I just want to tell anyone listening to me what I'm saying. While there is electoral dispute in Nigeria, let Mazi Peter Obi go ahead and dispute with them. If he wins it, fine. But there will be also agitation for people that are disenfranchised, people that genocide was committed on them, for them to be looked into. And if anything they are demanding that they must have it. No matter, regardless of whatever the killing method they will apply. They've been killing Biafrans. Anybody they see wearing a Biafran flag or t-shirt, they will just get him killed. Nigerian government and their handlers are doing it. And we know the people giving them the order to do it from foreign land, from foreign countries. They give them orders to kill their own fellow people. I don't want to say citizen because that is not true. To kill their own fellow black race, and they're doing it. Clear. What a shame. So this is what this man, Femi Fani-Kayode, all by himself said it. He wasn't under gunpoint or duress, but this is what he said. I want us to continue, please.
Do you want me to be honest or just speak, politically? 1966 disposition, a mentality of things. And that position was that Igbos cannot be trusted. Igbos have no rights. Igbos are members of he called them 5%, I believe, that didn't vote for him. God. And his mindset was he will teach Igbos the lesson of their lives.
Buhari saying
and
that.
And he's done precisely that.
He done that.
If the killings had stopped then, I would have said, okay, fine. Everything we said is history. But sadly, it didn't stop. Igbo youths, IPOB youths, Igbo nationalists have been killed under this government. More have been killed than at any other time during this, apart from during the Civil War.
You hear that?
Under this government. Igbos have been hopelessly marginalized by the government. Igbos have been treated with contempt by this government. Not just Igbos, Southerners, Christians, and Middle Belters.
You hear that?
They've added that one as well. And that's what's going on. And what the Igbos was subjected to by all of us in 1966 is what we are all being subjected to now by those that are around Buhari. Now, going to your question, given all that, before I come to that, let me just add this. IPOB says they want to have a referendum. They want the right to self-determine. And you label them as terrorists when none of them has ever carried a gun, as far as I'm aware.
You hear that?
I was in prison with Nnamdi Kanu. I had extensive discussions with him. I got to know him. I understood his mindset, and I could feel his pain for his people. Yet they say they want to have a referendum. You say they're terrorists. Meanwhile, those that are butchering our people every day in the name of ethnic domination and hegemony, in the name of furthering the ambitions and the aspirations of Usman Dan Fodio and Ahmadu Bello and Buhari himself, the three Mahdis, you don't call them terrorists. You pat them on the back, you refuse to arrest any of them. And you say what they're doing is okay. You encourage them.
You see?
Okay? And the same you, free Boko Haram terrorists, the same you once said that you want to apply Sharia all over the country. The same you said Muslims should only vote for Muslims. The same you says an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the North.
You see?
The same you has said so many things which implicitly are on line and on all fours with the Boko Haram philosophy. These are the people that have been ruling us for 5 years. And the same you has empowered the Fulani to a point that they have everything now. And you really believe that those people in 2023 will sit down and say that they will allow a situation to arise whereby the one they hate the most can possibly take power in this country? They will not allow that to happen. Now, if you ask me what I think that would be the way forward as an individual. That if you really want to appease the Southeast, indeed the people of the South, why on earth not? Why shouldn't we have that? But the reality is that those that control the levers of power are diametrically opposed to that philosophy. They don't pretend not to be. They will never deny it. And they're not even hiding it. So they won't allow that to happen. What they will tell you at the very best is possibly will give vice presidency to the Southeast. And in a situation like that, if they did that, and the northern president came to power, and something happened to him, I assure you they will never let an Igbo man take power.
You hear that?
It's their mindset. Even the one that's there now, the Yoruba man that's there as VP. If anything happens to Buhari, I doubt very much they'll let him take power. The position that they have adopted is that power must remain in the north in perpetuity for as long as possible.
Yeah, that.
And they have rationalized it over and over again.
Okay.
So that's the situation that we're in. But left to me, two things. The first thing is this: that would go a long way to heal the wounds of the past. An apology for what we did to the Southeasterners and to the Igbos during the Civil War. Secondly, proper compensation and reparations for what we did to them. Thirdly, to now openly come forward and say, let an Igbo man be president of Nigeria. Because they've never had an elected Igbo, we've never had an Igbo man leading us with power. Let it happen. That is what I would suggest. That's the first one. The other one is this. If it is, you can't do that. And if it is that the time for that has passed, because many Igbos will tell you, particularly those that share the philosophy of people like Nnamdi Kanu and even Massop philosophy, they will tell you they're not interested in that anymore. Then the other thing you can do is say, allow them to determine their own future. Just
Correct.
as the people of Scotland were allowed to determine theirs. Just as Britain, the United Kingdom, was allowed to determine hers when it came to Brexit.
Okay.
Just as so many other countries in the world, through a referendum and exercising the right of self-determination. And I think that would make far more sense than to say just give them an Igbo presidency, which you and I know is not likely to happen. Let me end with this, okay? We are approaching 2023. Some in the Southwest, specifically Bola Tinubu, believes that his party will field him. I will tell you this today. He has made the biggest mistake of his life.
You hear that?
They will not support him.
Thank God
Their
for
position
digital world.
is to keep the presidency in the North. And even if he manages to clinch the nomination for the APC, they will now shift their support to another party that will field a Northern candidate. Mark what I'm telling you today, because I've been right 9 times out of 10 when it comes to these predictions. I've been right. And I'm telling you, I'll be proved right again. That is the mess that we're in this country. So your aspirations are legitimate. You have every right to have an Igbo president. It will be a good thing for this country, for the people of the East, and indeed for the people of Africa. But those that believe they own Nigeria will not allow it, they will not accept it, and they will not create a level playing field for it. And that's the reality.
Very good. I just want to let our people hear this. This is sometimes God is not sometimes, God is beautiful in all situations, This is the reality we found ourselves in. As an Igbo person or as Igbo man or woman, and you hear all these things and said, well, like Yoruba always say, what thing concern me, you walk away. Imana Igbo atoro. Imana atoro ka onye ahụ. Ifuru ebe a na-egbu gị ka m were Igbo gwa unu okwu ebe a na-egbu unu na ihe ọ na-ekwu onye niile abụ nkata ha kpara wee were ọgụ wee bịa wee gbuo 10 million people na Igbo, Biafra, entire Biafra. The whole people nwụrụ n'agha ahụ dị ebe more than 10 million. I say 3.5 million is not true. I say 1 million children is not true. Biagodu na Western world go to one single baby na Europe, any part of Europe. Ke mara ihe a ga-eme onye ahụ. O buru onye ojii bịara gbuo a single bịa gbuo one child na Europe or in America. Onye ọcha a ga-egbukpo ndị ojii niile nọ ebe ahụ gbuo happy. Ọ gbasaghị gị ịmakwa ihe merenụ. Mana because n'ịbụ onye ojii ha na-echela ha ga na-ekwu ya in practice na oke na enwere na onye abụghị na inwe individual differences bla bla bla. Ọ bụghị mgbe ọ họtụrụ ha na hafụ ha na onye ojii ha egbuo ya ozugbo. Ọ ka ọ ihe na-emenụ. Most of the people amaghị etu ndị a dị. Ọkwụ na anụghị eketa etu onye Yoruba ji were ọnụ ya na-ekwu the level of massacre, the level of marginalization enyere ndị Igbo. Ndị Igbo anọdịkwa na Nigeria na-eti mkpu na-asị na asị ndị Igbo ngwa gasanụ ihe unu ndị Igbo atụfusi everything. Debenụ mma mafuo unu mma ha mafuo asị asọrị ndị egbe ha were egbe sọrị nda. Ke mba na-eme ke mba na-eme etu a onweghị mba na-eme etu a ọ na-abụ ebe a nọkịta oche nọ n'elu ya ọfịs nọ n'elu ya ebupụtara m so na-agbagharị gburugburu na-eme mkpọtụ because ike ihe ọ na-abụ nchecha adịtị na iwu a na-ewe m because aghọtaghị m ihe na-emenụ ọkwa onye Igbo jere winu elekshọn onye ọbụla fọrọ anya clear o winuru elekshọn ahụ because na ha akpa dị nkata sị na akpago dị nkata sị na a ga-enye onye Igbo a ga-enye onye Igbo a ga-achị ha na onye Igbo bụ infidel asị gị bịa bilivuo na ịbụ nwa Naijiria ị ga-ekweta na ịbụ onye Naijiria ọ na ha na-apụ ara the best thing ha ga-eme bụ inye referendum onye ọbụla agaza afa nne ya ọ ga-adị anyị pụọ na the generation ga-apụta na ga-ata ezigbo afụfụ ma ọ bụ na ya enwetaghị ihe anyị na-achọ ana m agba Peter Obi mgba no asọpọtụrụ m ya ga-nweta ya o ruzie ebe ahụ ọ matago nọ yanwa no foolishness anyị ji nọdị na Lagos ịpụta na Lagos ị gacha anata ekene Chineke sometimes ọ na-abụ Igbo gacha bata iji Igbo gasị ya ọ dị ha dị abata enwere ndị a na-egbu tinye na Third Mainland Bridge na mmiri ebe ahụ tụfuo ha ihe a na-eme steady ọkwa ọhụrụ na Third Mainland Bridge that was that side ka agbagburu one middle belt colonel Rindan Ezra onye gbagburu ya n'ugwu Babangida nyere order gwa polisi nye polisi order with radio na ọ gacha ọ si abịa ọbịa o nwere ihe dị manụ information dị manụ ji ọ ga-adị ọ na-anatazi ọbụ ya the car registration number akwụsị ya tụtụrụ egbe gbagbuo dị ma gbafuo afụbeghị that killer ruo today Rindan Ezra nwa amụgo afọ gate gị but ọ ihe ndị a na-eme anyị so kemgbe a ga-emegide unu ihe ndị Igbo na-amara ihe ka oge unu ga-eji mụ ihe ekwuchara m okwu n'ụtụtụ ụnyaahụ ike amaghị m ka ebe ike si wee bata m n'ahụ ike adịghị m tired amụrụ m anya ruo kịta anọ m na behind the system ma ndị na-ede ede ma ndị na-ezipụ mbịakwa na redio again ka m gwakwa unu okwu na ihe onye Yoruba kwuru agaghị m ekwu more than what this man said na ihe o kwuru gbasara ndị Igbo ihe na-eme ndị Igbo ihe nkata akpara debere ndị Igbo ka ị ga-esi nọ na Naijiria ebe e kwuru na Naijiria na ọnwa onye Igbo ga-ewelite isi ebe ahụ onye ọbụla welitere isi ebe ahụ ịma na o gburu nwanne ya Emmanuel betrayal ka ọ bụ ọ ya ka m ji na-asị ndị Igbo bịa wekọọ n'obi unu ọnụ etu Chukwu si wee zi m ozi sinzie ụnụ ndị Igbo ga-adị united in this akwụsị ike ọnụ ọ na-abụ ana m afụ some people ha bupụta ha gaa na social media ha na-agba ụmụnne ha ọtọ you can't wash your dirty linen in public you can't do that ịma asị m oge m kwuburu okwu n'ụtụtụ asị m na if an enemy to my enemy is my enemy no an enemy to my enemy is my friend. All point of correction, I notice me because because the word was flowing. Sometimes you have something in mind and you say the other way. So an enemy to my enemy is my friend. Even ado Nigerian dodo, Ibu because I'm ado handodo. KKC we kewa country see when them set aside na ha amapụrụ ha out to death. Ọnwụ ka ha ga-ewere. Resources nọ na be gị iri enweta ya mmiri nọ na be gị iri aṅụ ya mmanụ nọ na be gị ị naghị eweta ya resources niile nọ dị ya ọnwa nke na-aba ndị Igbo aka ha sị gị bịa tụọ vote nke ji echere onye chi ịtụ vote ya ga-atụ vote but mara amara na anyị belong to Nigeria. Maazị Peter Obi onye nụrụ ihe a ga-akara gị ọnwa ihe ị chọrọ ime na aga n'iru but anyị belong to Nigeria. Echichi apụta kịta ebidokwa even na ọchịchị gị ka a ga-aka gbu ndị Igbo ka provoke oge ka iwe wee gị ya ha ga-eme ọ bụ na reverse ya dị si na-enye gị ya ị ga-afụ ndị ga-apụta na resist gị publicly openly some set of people ama ma achọghị m ịgba ha afa here ka ọ ghara ịdị ka tribal thing but etu a ka ha ga-esi gba mgba ka ọ bụrụ na ha frustrate administration gị afụgo me already but Chineke ga-agwụ ha aka naanị and ihe niile ahụ oke ruru ndị Igbo ga-ewere ya egbugo ndị Igbo ọtụtụ, and Chukwu agaghị ekwe ka egbubezie ndị Igbo na-aga. Onwe ihe ndị Igbo mere, onwegodi ihe ndị Igbo mere, Chineke ga-agbaghara ndị Igbo. Etu aka ọha n'ọnụ n'abalị ya, maka a sị na akọba akụkọ ịnyanga eze chi ejie. O butere m nke ukwu na ihe niile a na-eme ndị be anyị a na-afụ ya gba nkịtị, onwe onye na-ekwu, onye fụkwa nke ọ ga-afụ ọgbakwa nkịtị, onwe onye egwu kwere ekwu okwu, onye ọbụla na-atụ egwu adịghị atụ afọ m ihe ebute ụzọ, egwu adịghị atụ m. Ọ bụrụ ha na na-ekwu eziokwu na ihe na-ekwu bụ eziokwu, egwu adịghị atụ m, mụnwa adịghị atụ egwu. Ihe ọbụla Fulani chee echiche ọbụla ha chere ka a ga-esi gbu ndị Igbo, marginalize ya ndị Igbo, were ndị Igbo mee slave, ịdị comfortable bụrụ a slave na ya country, ebe ị kpọrọ ya country bụrụ slave ebe a, ịma ha na-enwere ihe adịghị mma dị ebe a, onwe ihe adịghị mma na-emenụ. The man bụ slave na ya country, ịbụ a freeborn, and a freeborn ka ị ga-abụ. On this note, I want to say good morning to everyone. As you wake up and you listen to this, think about it and be strong in your mind. Mara na Nigeria abụghị for you ma ị bụrụ onye Igbo. Nigeria abụghị for you. Ị bụ onye Biafra. Ọ bụrụ na Peter Obi nweta ọchịchị n'aka, weta ọchịchị na election o win, anyị observe ya. Mara na the first assignment ọ ga-eme bụ ịga ịrụ seaport. Ọ ga-arụ seaport, ọ ga-emepe seaport na the whole of East Central State, East Central Region. Mepe seaport, mepe direct flight. Enugu ga-enwe international airport, direct flight. Owerri ga-enwe international airport, direct flight. Port Harcourt ga-enwe international airport, direct flight. River State, across River State, Akwa Ibom ga-enwe international flight, international airport, direct flight. Ga-esi ebe ahụ gaba New York. Yema mbịa ichi travel ịga obodo oyibo, ịgaba Lagos, wee gafee sie all the congestions nọ there. So Tinubu ma nọ ndị Igbo nwee bụ the economic power nọ na Lagos, kakwa nwee mindset ị na-agba ndị Igbo ọkụ, properties ndị Igbo. With that ka m ga-eji say to hell with them. Onye Igbo na-ege ntị, gee ntị ọfụma. Unu atụzi n'egwu. Egwu unu na-atụ ka eji egbu unu. Unu na-atụ egwu nke ukwu. Emeghị ihu gbapụ ọsọ. Achọ m nsogbu. Ọkwa mmadụ na-agwa m na ya achọkwa nsogbu, na ya achọ nsogbu, na-ene ha anya. Ka ebe nọ today. Onweghọ egwu adịghị atụ afọ m ihe ebute ụzọ. Onye sị na a ga-anwụ asị ka agba egbe. Achọghị m ka a gaa ya through that means. But onye ji ihe nwata wenye aka enu, ụzọ ihe na-abụ ga-eme, nwata too o were ya, ọ aka fobi ụfọ wetuo ya, nwata ewere ya. Ọya m ga-ekwu. On this note, m ga-asị unu ka chifonu, ndewonu.